Last year, 2025 was a strong year.
From one angle, I see that it's getting super competitive, but at the same time, I still see a lot of opportunities. Markets getting regulated, prediction markets, new verticals being opened. It's incredible. And distribution is key. But now it's not the only thing that you need from a game provider standpoint of view. You need marketing. You need to invest. You need to be seen. You need to be wanted. There's no space. So you really need to be connected to the distribution, to those pipelines that we have in this case, but you need to have marketing. You need to really create the need in the B2C.
Some people recently talk about the content fatigue problem for players.
We're seeing new game providers. There's a lot of activity, but it's true there's too much content. And what we are seeing is that casinos, they don't want more. We are looking for something different, something that is not in the market. And that's difficult to find because everybody's repeating the same, honestly.
You're one of the best places to work in the industry. So how do you find these talents and retain them in the company?
I hear Alex singing happy birthday, so this is how we retain people. No, I'm joking.
Hello everyone, this is Farooq and welcome to Revpanda Live. As you can see, we are at our podcast box here at Alea booth at ICE Barcelona, and I'm together with Jordi Sendra, CEO of Alea. Jordi, first of all, thank you so much for hosting us at this beautiful booth. You have such a traffic, it's a really lovely atmosphere, and I really appreciate that you're taking some time for this podcast today with us.
It's my pleasure to be here. It's been a crazy conference, ICE 2026, so really happy to be here and that you have been a partner with us during the whole conference.
Jordi, thank you so much. And apart from the conference itself, you invited us to your dinner on the first day, and it was an amazing evening. So we started with a nice reception, and there was a really great food, like local one. And afterwards,
Vegetarian one.
absolutely. And then later we went to the music hall. And honestly, you cannot even enter that building. Like it's open maybe like twice or three times in a year, right? So it's just fantastic organization and kudos to your team for that.
Thank you. At Alea, we do things that we like and I believe in a different way. Very authentic. We want to share that with our partners, with our friends from the industry. And I do believe it's something completely different and it's very worth it. So thank you for appreciating that.
Jordi, also here at the event, as you can see, like this is much bigger than last year. So after ICE moved to Barcelona, they did a great job in the first year. And now we even see like two more halls, if I'm not wrong. Like they put the first hall, there's like Casa Brazil for that market as well. So it's really great. I want to ask your impressions about the event today.
ICE Barcelona has been very good this year. Let's rewind a little bit and put ourselves when they said they were changing and they were justifying that because they wanted to grow. And at that moment, ICE was already super big. It was difficult to believe that in terms of space, it could go bigger, but absolutely this year, it's, I would say, even too big for the user experience. And we have been discussing with them. We already renewed the booth. It's been our biggest ever. You can see it. It's crazy. It's been super full, so we are very happy. And they are gonna put two more halls, I believe, next year. So it's I'm from Barcelona. I was born here, so I'm very happy that this is happening in my hometown, where we have also our office, and I see that it's gonna keep growing and growing.
Jordi, I think if they add more halls, we need to have this event not 3 days, but maybe 5 days, because
Yeah,
it's impossible.
it's gonna be too much. I need to check my Whoop. I don't know how many steps I did every day, but at least it's healthy. Look.
That's true. So you're from Barcelona and you have office here, a beautiful one. And maybe we can start from yourself. Jordi, I'm really curious about your journey in iGaming. So can you please tell us how you ended up in this industry?
Uh, well, I don't think like anybody else, you don't plan to land in iGaming. As probably most of the people know, Alea was first it was a B2C, and then they split it. One of my school friends, university friend, was the ex-CEO of Alea, and when they split it, he took another route. And Alex asked him to stay at the in the board, and the first job that he had was to find a CEO. So that's why he was asking. I always tell the same story. He was asking a lot of good and talented people, and everybody said no. And I was the only guy that said yes, basically, the last one.
I'm very happy that you said yes, and we're sitting here today, and you have an incredible team. Like Alex, such a guy. Like he also supports us, comes to our podcast. He was at our events too, so it's kind of a natural fit between you and the rest of the team. This is what I see from outside. Jordi, I would like to start with the snapshot of the market. So last year, 2025 was a strong year. We saw some regulatory changes and also new players in the market, plus the competition both in the B2B and B2C sides. It's getting really competitive. It is really getting really tough. So I want to ask your observation. Can you tell me about the current state of the market? How do you see it?
Okay, my view. It's as you say. There's a lot of competition. So from one, it's curious because from one angle, I see that it's getting super competitive in all the layers of the industry, in slot providers, in aggregation as well. There's a lot of competitors. It's very tough. From the B2C side and also with affiliation, we see new and new competitors joining the
Yeah.
market. But at the same time, I still see a lot of opportunities and markets getting regulated, prediction markets, new verticals
Yeah.
being opened. That one at super speed it's incredible. So very competitive. From one side, very competitive, red ocean, let's say, and on the other one, a lot of opportunities as well, which has been I would say the usual in iGaming since I joined. It's the land of opportunity.
And you work with hundreds of operators, so you know the B2C side very well. And on the B2B end, I think you work over 200 providers, as far as I know, might be
I believe
more.
I lost count, but
Yeah, exactly.
there.
So definitely, you are one of the people who can actually comment about this market the best. And there's one thing I'm always curious, because you're an aggregator, and in your platform you have over 20,000 games. And some people recently talk about the content fatigue problem for players.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a problem like this exists, or do you have a view that maybe we should have more creative games introduced?
We do speak with a lot of game providers. Honestly, they come to us in conferences usually, and we're seeing new game providers, new not only that they already have the games and they want to be integrated, but also startups that they are creating the games or they plan to create the games, new studios, splits of game providers that they create new teams, new studios. So there's a lot of activity. Um, but it's true, there's too much content. I have no problem saying that. And what we are seeing is that casinos they don't want more. They don't want more. I would say we are, if we look at the roadmap integration from our side, last year we integrated a lot of providers. And at some point we realized that we didn't need that much. So now we are really, let's say, slowing down. We're not stopping integrating. If one of our clients is one of our USPs, if they need specific content, we are going to integrate it. But let's say our proactive roadmap that nobody asked for, and we are looking new products to integrate, to add to our portfolio, we are looking for something different, something that is not in the market. Uh, and that's difficult to find because everybody's repeating the same, honestly.
Yeah, I agree with that. Whenever you go to a casino, you see like thousands of games. I just know only one example. I think it was Denmark. There's like one operator. They have got, I think, like 40 games or something only, and they managed to stay alive for like 10, 15 years already. So that is just one particular operator
Well,
that I
that's a very
know.
specific
Yeah, very specific. And
case.
I think they are also backed by a game provider company, and they don't give these games to anybody else. So maybe that's the,
It's a
secret
niche.
sauce.
Then they have their own
Yeah,
niche. The question is, could they make a lot more if they had more games?
that's a good question.
If
I
they
will
had
ask it.
if they had pragmatic, if they had evolution,
Yeah,
right? Um, we believe, and we Alex had different operations, and now still Vegas Legends is building operations. Uh, a casino player has different plays in different casinos, so for sure that in that example, that casino, their players play there, they are happy, but probably they're also spending a lot of money in other casinos that maybe if they had more games, they could spend more on that casino.
that's true. That's true. I think it's time to invite them for the podcast and ask those questions. Let's talk about.
Maybe they need an aggregator then.
I will also give your business card for
Look,
sure.
one thing that we have been seeing, or let's say our assessment, is that before, and this is like a message to the game providers, they are going to aggregation because they need distribution, right? And distribution is key.
Yeah,
Yes, but now it's not the only thing that you need from a game provider standpoint of view. You need marketing. You need to invest. You need to be seen. You need to be wanted. Uh, Before, in the early days, and I'm late in the industry, you would go to a distributor and they turn you on and you are everywhere. Now it's not the case. There's no space. So you really need to be connected to the distribution, to those pipelines that we have in this case. But you need to have marketing. You need to really create the need in the B2C.
that's
That
true.
for sure before it was not there. So let's say any startup that maybe they come out from another game provider, they had very good relationships. They have an easy way, an easy access to a lot of doors, and this is what they sell. This is one of their USPs. The common USP from a game provider is we have very good connection. Uh, okay, but now it's not enough. If there's no need, and this is how you create, you need to create a brand, you need to create marketing. I mean, for
That's
sure.
true, Jordi. And it is not only the markets are changing or the regulators are updating what they have in those markets, but also player behavior is changing, their preferences, they are changing constantly. So marketing is an important part to adjust the brands for them. Let's talk about markets. Alea is the leading aggregator in Brazil, and you have a significant presence in this region. And I want to ask you how you see the market after a whole year, that they did this regulatory change. How do you see the market right now? Is it going as expected, or are there still some struggles operators having?
Um, there's still struggles. It's not stable, let's say, from the regulatory point of view. They want to increase, they have said a couple of times, they wanted to increase the taxes, and the casinos, they had made their business cases with the investment that they did. It's quite expensive, that license. And at the same time, you have these casinos with the municipal license or the state license. They didn't pay as much, and they are in the market. There's no, it's allowed, right? So obviously this is very costly for them, and it's not a good picture. In terms of content, there's more and more content. So I would say in that sense we are good in the industry. A lot of providers achieved to certify. It was a slow process. The regulation was not clear at the beginning. Everybody was late. But I do believe now it's more stable. Now the market needs to mature, and we need stability from the regulator. That's for sure.
I see. And regarding the content, I spoke with a lot of people at this event. There's even a zone called Casa Brazil here, as you know. So Brazil made the headlines last year. And many people also talk about the content, and they say the north of the country and the south of the country, people have completely different preferences when it comes to games.
Brazil is a country, but it's like a continent.
Yeah,
It's super big. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Localization, it was never as important as it is in Brazil. I mean, for sure.
Definitely. And Jordi, in LatAm region, we know, yes, Brazil has the big potential over there, still is a good market to enter. But do you think that there are some other markets that are like sleeping right now and they will be the next hype in the next couple of years?
I don't know if it's gonna be a hype, but I would say Brazil is very important, and it's gonna for sure be one of our focus during the next couple of years. Brazil as well, alongside Brazil, I meant, and then Chile probably also. I would focus on that one. For me, they are very interesting. They are growing. Mexico is very interesting.
I
A
see.
lot of population, a lot of content is already available there. So I would definitely, for me, the peaks or where we're gonna focus are those two.
I got it. And apart from the headlines, Brazil and US with sweepstakes and prediction markets, Africa is another market that Alea is making moves. And I'm just curious, do you have any recommendations for those operators who would like to enter the market? Maybe some mistakes that they can avoid after your suggestions.
Again, Africa is a continent. There's a lot of markets. Uh, I mean, it needs to be if somebody wants to go there, I would say they need a local team and a local team on each, maybe not on each market, but on each region. They need somebody that has experience there and can help them navigate which markets is better to enter. But in a sense, Africa, the phone penetration, it's very good. So I think it has a big potential because of that, plus demographics. They are growing faster than LatAm.
Yeah.
It's bigger, for sure. It's new El Dorado, let's call it. We'll see when it comes, but for sure, it's something to monitor.
Jordi, as you know, we are at the beginning of the year, and it's a tradition at our podcast to talk about trends. And you recently also got featured on Ace Alliance iGaming Trend Book. And for those viewers who didn't have the chance to read, maybe you can summarize the trends that you see in the market for the next couple of years.
Uh, okay, let's see if I remember what I said. No, I'm joking. I I would say one of the trends obviously is going to be tighter compliance. More markets getting regulated, tighter control from the regulators. That's one. And then for me, the second biggest, I don't know if it's going to be the second biggest, but for us right now, it's a focus, it's prediction markets. That's something that I believe it's going to continue because of the context or how the Trump administration works and who is involved in that area. So I believe it can have a big impact. Obviously, this is focused on US, but it's such a big market that I would say can be classified as a trend.
I see. Yeah, I see a lot of conversations here at the event too. Yeah, I think that's going
Everybody's
to
talking
be
about that. And three
absolutely
months ago, nobody knew what it was. And now everybody's trying to see how a business model can be made out of that. Right?
right.
That's the beauty. So I do believe prediction markets is something that is gonna be the year of prediction markets. Yes.
Yesterday I was having a conversation with a crypto operator, and he said, look, we just want to start a new operator and we would like to just work on the crypto predictions. And he was asking, so which regulatory part will be taking care of this? Is it the financial ones or is it going to be the iGaming regulatory bodies? So they just couldn't find the answer. And then later we asked someone, a chief legal officer somewhere here, and the guy said, none of them. It is just a gray market right now. Just go ahead with that.
That's what we are seeing. Honestly, you speak during the conference. We spoke with many different people, operators, providers. Everybody's telling a different thing. So, and that when does this happen? When there's no regulation, where there's no clear view of what can be done, what cannot be done. So absolutely, it's a gray market. Um, and probably who can be benefit from that is sweepstakes as well, because there's a lot of focus. Or last year was the year that biggest number of states closed sweepstakes. We had pragmatic closing the full vertical. If the, let's say, the authorities or the regulator attention switches to prediction markets, they might have a longer run, which we're happy with. So we'll see.
Jordi, let's come back to Alea. You recently launched a new product, which is Jackpot Engine. And I'm very curious, what is the idea behind it? And my biggest wonder is why this particular time?
Okay, I'll have to go a little bit back when we started and explain a little bit the context to explain why now, and then I'll explain what it is and why we're doing it. Um, the B2B Alea, Alex started it in late 2019. I joined late 2019. They started the first development. Yes, 2020 they split the companies, and in 2021 I joined. At the beginning, we mainly were building the product and finding product market fit. Are we able to sell? I remember when I joined, we had maybe 30, 35 providers. We hired our sales director, Anna. She joined 1 month after me. And we had to find if we could sell. And what we first thought is that we needed a bigger portfolio, more providers. Why? Because the operators that we were approaching, what they needed was more content. That's was our way in. So I don't know, maybe we spent a couple of years integrating a lot of providers, right? And then it switched. We had to add features, free spins, tournament tools. The product was evolving. We automated invoicing, we added the client area. So for the last, let's say, 4 years, we were building the core of the product, right? As we were starting to go live with clients, we started to see that they had some needs that we didn't cover at the beginning, right? So during the last, let's say, year and a half, we were building tools, sometimes internal tools, sometimes external tools, troubleshooting tools for the clients to see really the player history, see if there was an issue with a round, with a session, etc. Right? I could go on and on. Once this is done is when we were able to start building on top of the aggregation platform. So the Jackpot is this, it's a meta feature, it's something built on top that enables more possibilities for operators. So that's why now. Why? Because we finished, let's say, the core, and now we are doing like phase 2 or phase 3 and evolving the product on what we provide. Up until now, we were providing providers. The Jackpot is ours. It's our own product. We sell two products. We sell pragmatic, right? And we could say it's a commodity, but we can have a better price. We can have the free spins, and you didn't have the free spins. We maintain it, so we add a value, even though it's difficult to sell that. The Jackpot is something new. It's a different product that we sell.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why now. Now, what is a Jackpot and what is the conceptualization? Why we did it? Our idea was to give operators a tool to make more money. And this comes from the Slots Milio era, the B2C of Alea before. We want them to have a tool to be able to make more money. So the concept of it is a very easy tool, complex in a sense that they have a lot of possibilities, right? They can decide if they monetize it. If they don't monetize it, then it's just all the contributions from players go to the Jackpot, and then this is attractive to players. They can choose that they lose money, they put a seed, and they don't recover that. So it's on them. They configure the Jackpots. It's for them. What we expect is that they grow, and from that, with our aggregation, we make money. We don't want to squeeze the operator. We want a win-win situation with them. So that's what it is. It's a money to make more money for them.
Well, I had a chance to look at it at the demo.
Did you do
here.
the demo?
Yeah, and I
Okay.
just want to
And-
tell my impression. I think this tool will have the biggest growth opportunity for operators when it comes to LTV. player lifetime. So this is going to be the biggest part, in my opinion, and also it will help with the loyalty of the players. So that is like the first, let's say, impression that I got from the tool, from the product that you have got.
That is the intention. And commercials were still thinking, but we're thinking honestly on a fixed fee and maybe some revenue share if you monetize it. But if you don't monetize it, no. Whereas if you compare it with other jackpots in some game providers, it's very expensive. They don't like. We have clients that they don't want to put the jackpot games because it's too expensive. It's revenue share on the contribution. That's super expensive, right? Each one has its own model, and I do believe there's some providers that they have that it makes sense to put it, but the ability to choose on your side as a casino what you want to do and have it with all your games. If I was an operator, I would have the jackpot on all the games of the casino,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
I think it's something different.
Absolutely. I think it adds this differentiation when it comes to the operators and what they give to their players. So next to the slots, next to the sports book and so on. So that's a good addition in my opinion. Jordi, we wrapped up 2025 and it was a big year for you. You had a rapid growth in the company. And I want to ask you about the highlights of the last year for Alea.
Highlights 2025. Well, obviously, one is Brazil, the new regulation, the implementation of it. More highlights. Well, we reached 100 as a headcount. It's not the number per se. It's a round number, so it's beautiful. But the highlight is how much we grew as a team and the effort we kept in keeping the culture that we have. We don't want to lose that. We want to stay lean. I do believe the growth in the team that we had was necessary because of we doubled, tripled. We had an exponential growth,
Yeah,
right? Alice has shared sometimes the numbers. I'm not that keen on sharing, but it's there. So yeah, the other highlight is the team growth. Team growth, not per se, but achieving to keep the culture. We still need to work. We need to train the staff. We need to make them grow and keep being Alea as it is now.
Jordi, also you're one of the best places to work in the industry. I see all the nominations and awards, everything that you get. So how do you find these talents and retain them in the company?
It's very difficult. I mean, it's one of the well, there's I hear Alex singing "Happy Birthday," so this is how we retain people. No, I'm joking. Uh, it's difficult to find talent. It's a very competitive industry in that sense, because everybody is growing. The industry is flourishing. There's competition, but mm, most of the people is growing, I would say, or
Right.
at least it seems. You look at all these fancy booths, every year bigger. Clearly, there's a lot of growth. So it's very competitive to retain talent,
Right.
to train them, and to keep them inside. What do? Like we do business, we try to be authentic. We try to be different, not for the sake of being different, but stay who we are. I don't want to go what we have in the office. Everybody knows,
Yeah.
etc. So no need. I would say is the human aspect and the kindness that we are very careful to recruit in that sense.
Yeah.
And I think this is what keeps the teams happy. And we do not have people doesn't leave Alea. We have very few people leaving, and when this happens, we had one case recently. They are very sorry to leave, and they leaving behind a family, and they say that it's not my words, and I'm very happy when I hear that. I'm happy for them that they are finding another opportunity.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll find our path they will cross again at some point.
While reaching the low turnover rates in this industry is actually really a success in my opinion, because I see a lot of people are moving around. So yeah, that's a great thing, so that you really establish that culture in the company. Jordan, my last question for operators to prepare better for the next year, what would you give them as an advice if you had to say just one thing?
Delegate on third parties or trust third-party providers to help you in your operation. And I'm not saying that because I'm an aggregator and I'm selling that, but I do believe that it applies to everything from the point of view of an operator. Uh, they need to concentrate on having the maximum profit and retention from players. This is what they are good at. They are the ones in touch with the player. The rest of the providers, we don't see the player. We don't speak with them, right? So I do believe that having third-party providers allows you to focus on your own core, and I do believe that's my message for them. Is really the right word doesn't come out now, but trust third-party providers, delegate on them, the good ones, to be able to do a better job on your side, and this is going to be beneficial for everybody.
Yeah, so find the right partners that are expert in their particular field.
Rely. That's the word.
I love it.
Rely on third parties. Because in English, translating from Spanish to English, sometimes the word is not exact. Rely is a very good word. Rely on third-party providers because it adds value. The right ones, obviously, but
Definitely. Jordi, thank you so much for
My pleasure
allocating
to
your
be here.
time
It was
at your
fun.
busy schedule here at ICE Barcelona. And we covered a lot of things today. We talk about your new product, we talk about the markets, technology, even finding talents and the company culture and everything else. So I very much appreciate it. I learned a lot of things myself
Well,
today.
happy to do it again whenever you want.
We'll do the round two for sure. I'm sure our viewers will be also enjoying that one.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Everyone, thank you for watching and follow us on our social media. And I will see you all at the next Revpanda live session.